Wouldn't it be great if we can tell whenever someone's lying? Unfortunately, the average person is terrible at spotting lies. But once we know what to look for, not only will we improve our ability to spot lies, you'll even be able to tell whenever someone's hiding something during regular conversations. Before we learn what signs to look for, here are 2 rules you must remember in order to successfully spot a lie. Number 1, always ask neutral questions. Once someone realizes you are suspicious of them, it becomes a lot harder to tell if they're lying or not. That's because when someone becomes defensive, their defensive body language covers up other signs like nervousness or guilt, which is generally what we look for when spotting a lie. So always ask neutral questions and never accuse. For example, instead of saying, "Did you take my wallet?" say, "Do you know what happened to my wallet?" Think of it this way. If you accuse someone, you can only judge their one response because they might refuse to answer more questions after that. And most of the time, one response isn't enough to determine whether they're telling the truth. By asking neutral questions, you open up the opportunity to ask more later. Number 2, space out your important questions. Real-life interrogations are not like what you see on TV, where the interrogator asks 10 accusatory questions one after another. Instead, it's more like a conversation, where the majority of the dialogue is just regular questions like asking the suspect to explain what they saw, what happened, and other questions designed to make the suspect feel comfortable talking. So space out your important questions. Make it so that it seems like your target is helping you solve the case instead of them being a suspect. This will lower their defenses. Also, the more comfortable your target is, the more likely he or she will make mistakes and say something he wasn't supposed to say. With those 2 rules in mind, you're ready to learn what deception looks like. Liars avoid giving a direct no until they're pushed into a corner. Instead, they can hesitate to answer your question. Are you sure I'm the right person to ask? Go on attack mode. How could you accuse me? Don't you trust me? Or anything else that doesn't answer your question. They can also give convincing statements that seem like they're answering the question when they're really not. Here's a guy who's just been asked if he stole his girlfriend's money. Watch his reply.
I have no reason to steal from our future. I want to propose to you.
Notice how he didn't really say no? He just said he has no reason to steal from her. The lie detector later proved that he was indeed lying. Complete sentences. A liar also tends to use complete sentences like, "No, I did not take your money," whereas an honest person keeps it short. "No, I didn't."
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Inconsistent facts. Liars have to have perfect memories in order for them to remember their lies, so sometimes they make mistakes. Ask them to recall an event they mentioned earlier, out of chronological order. If they say something that's different from what they said before, they're hiding something. Investigate further with more questions. Those are only the verbal signs. Body language is even more important when it comes to spotting a lie. So here are the physical signs to look out for. Clearing of the throat or swallowing. Telling lies tend to dry the throat. Shifting of the body. Pay attention to the parts of the body that keep a person stable, such as their butt on a chair, feet on the ground, arms on the chair, etc. And notice if your target shifts his or her weight. Hand to face contact. Covering of the mouth, eyes, and touches to the nose, ears, or neck. Grooming gestures. Adjusting hair, glasses, tie, collar, as well as any fidgety movements. And lastly, body language incongruence. When what they say doesn't match their body language. For example, saying no while nodding their heads, or saying sure while crossing their arms. Those were the signs of deception, but one sign alone isn't enough. A woman flipping her hair or a guy adjusting his tie could just mean they're attracted to you. A shift in their seat could mean their chair is uncomfortable, whereas touching their nose could just be an itch. So instead of looking for individual signs, look for 3 or more that occur close together. For example, if someone gives a convincing statement, touches his nose, and then shifts his weight on his chair, then yup, you guessed it, he's probably lying. Now that you're familiar with the verbal and physical signs of a lie, the only thing separating you and an expert interrogator is experience. So go out there and put these new skills to work. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give me a big fat like, and click subscribe to see new videos right when they come out. See ya!